The new structure deck is finally here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to play with 3 of them.
Subscribe.
Crystal Beasts, everybody. A fan favorite archetype, but historically not the strongest of decks, really. And with the release of this structure deck, that doesn't really change, but it is playable at a casual level, at least for a little bit of fun. So we're going to quickly open this and go through some of the cards, and then we'll get into the ideal 3 structure deck list and how to play it. Woo. Matt! Alright, let's make it quick, make it snappy, and run through all of these cards here. Of course, we do have a bunch of ads at the back. 5 in total. That's crazy, man. We're eventually going to have more ads than cards themselves. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about the playability of some of the cards here. So Rainbow Dragon, you do have to play this. All of the, like the fusion monsters as well, they all have the same kind of summoning condition and effect to a certain degree. But you do have to play the Rainbow Dragon in order to play the new big boy. This is your game ender, essentially. You want to grind your opponent down to a point where you can bring this out, clear the board, and then OTK them. Crystal Beast, Rainbow Dragon, you do play 2 of these because you use this as part of your combo to search for the Rainbow Dragon. You have Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. A lot of the cards in this deck sort of do the same thing where they're all kind of searching each other, so I want to say it plays kind of similarly to the Cyber Strike structure deck, just with a much worse payoff. So you'll see what I mean. But Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, this is a searcher. We play 3 of this, gives you a double normal summon. Also, pretty good going second as well because it just has a random removal effect on it. Crystal Bond, best card in the deck. Rainbow Overdragon, we got some pretty tokens, and getting into it, we have all of our Crystal Beast monsters. We do have to play at least one of all of them. Rainbow Dark Dragon is just bulk. Crystal Master, probably the best normal summon in the deck, to be honest, because it can literally just search anything. So yeah, you absolutely play that. Crystal Keeper, kind of bulk Hammond, bulk Shifter, conflicts with the strategy of the main deck that you're best playing. So definitely a side deck card, if that makes sense. Contact C, also a good side deck card. Ash Blossom, very good. Ghost Belle, very good in this format especially. Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates is a very, very good card. This does require you to have an Ultimate Crystal Beast in hand, which is why you need to search the Rainbow Dragon off of the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. So yeah, it all goes together really nicely. We also have Crystal Aegis, you don't really need to play that. Rainbow Ruins, don't really need to play that either, it's just not worth the setup and all that. Rainbow Bridge, very good, non-once per turn, search any crystal spell or trap, so very nice. Crystal Beacon, anytime you really want to be searching this, you're just better off searching anything else. You can play it at 1. It's probably one of the better crystal spells, to be fair. Crystal Blessing, kind of garbage, just hand looping yourself for 1. Crystal Abundance, I was considering trying out, but yeah, it's definitely not worth it. Way too much setup as well. There's better options. You don't need to play this. Crystal Promise, no need for that. Crystal Tree, very cool, no thanks. Crystal Release, plus 800 equip spell, was this Legend of Blue Eyes format. Rare value, I think, is pretty good. It's like Pot of Greed with pretty much most of your cards are going to set up at least 2 beasts in the spell and trap zone. Non-once per turn Pot of Greed, essentially. So I feel like this is actually a really good card to play. The deck does kind of need the draw power. A lot of this stuff isn't hard once per turn, so drawing 2 is really good, especially with the hand traps. Rainbow Refraction, the problem with Rainbow Dragon is you can't activate its effect the turn it's summoned, so Rainbow Refraction is just kind of somewhat dead. Too much setup and whatnot. Advanced Dark, no thank you. Melody, you're not playing Dark Rainbow Dragon, it's garbage. Foolish Burial Goods, this would be nice if we had Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. Otherwise, yeah, not really worth it. Cyclone, side deck card. Crystal Boon, game life, what can I say? Crystal Miracle, non-once per turn, Judgment with no life point cost. It's really, really good. This is insane. Can't believe it's not once per turn. So yeah, you want to dig for that. Crystal Brilliance, not really worth it. Crystal Pair, again, not really worth it. Crystal Conclave is another one of the key cards you want to set up. However, this requires sending itself to the graveyard for its effect, hence why you don't want to main deck Shifter. It conflicts with this. Shifter is strong, but you know, you're kind of just getting rid of your setup at that point. So yeah, you have to play this. Ultimate Crystal Magic, this is a pretty good card. You could run this at 1, because if your opponent's going to run over one of your monsters by battle, that's just you getting your boss monster for free. However, it is also situational, requires your opponent running over a monster in the battle phase instead of just removing it, so you could not play this. I've opted to not play this in the deck, but you can easily play 1 and get away with it. Counter Gem, sure, Ferret Flames, very cool, Metaverse, and Crystal Beast. Token. A lot of cards that just don't really do anything to make them worth playing. Either way, let's move on to the mashup of 3 structure decks. Alright, here we go, getting into the Crystal Sauce. Honestly, I feel like it's fairly easy to build optimally because so much of the cards just do nothing. That you basically only play the good cards. So it's kind of a no-brainer when you build this deck, but I'll show you what it looks like anyway. Of course, for the extra deck, you have 3 of each of the fusion monsters. Typically, without playing anything too spicy, you're only going to really summon this one, and you're only going to summon it once, and you're going to have to end the game right there, or else you just lose. But we play 6 because we can. Why not? Getting into the main deck, we're going to start off with the best card in the deck, 3 Crystal Bond. We're just going to go through all the searchers here. So we have 3 Rainbow Bridge. This searches any Crystal Spell or Trap. Crystal Bond searches any Crystal Beast monster and places any Crystal Beast monster in the Spell and Trap zone as a continuous spell. We have triple Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Gives you a second normal summon during the main phase and also can search any Crystal Spell or Trap by destroying a Crystal Beast monster either in your hand or on your field. Also has the third effect where if a Crystal Beast monster you control gets placed in the Spell and Trap zone while this is on the field, you can bounce an opponent's card to the hand. So going second, this is also pretty good just as part of your combos. We have triple Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. This is a quick play spell which can summon a Crystal Beast monster from essentially anywhere, or it can add a Rainbow Bridge card or Rainbow Refraction. So this can search this or this, which can search any spell or trap. So all of these basically search anything in the deck. And then we also have 3 Crystal Master as a normal summon, which you can tribute to search any Crystal Beast monster, any Ultimate Crystal monster, or any Crystal Spell or Trap. So being able to search anything in the deck, essentially, with all of these cards is just, yeah, very, very consistent. Consistently bad. Moving on from the essential 3 ofs, we have, this is maybe a controversial decision, but I will explain it. We're playing double Crystal Beast, Sapphire, Pegasus. This is the best Crystal Beast to normal summon in the deck. Although by itself, it's not really doing anything. You normal summon it and then it just places a Crystal Beast monster in the Spell and Trap zone. The reason I'm playing 2 is because I value another card more, and most of the time you are just getting to this through Crystal Bond anyway. It's not once per turn, but honestly that doesn't really matter as much to me as drawing 2 cards, and that's why I am playing 3 rare value. There's so many non-hard once per turn cards in this deck that drawing 2 is just like, it's a no-brainer, honestly. The only decision I am struggling to make is whether to play 3 of this and 2 of this, or 3 of this and 2 of this. The draw 2 is so nice, and this card isn't searchable because it's a rare value. It's not a Crystal Spell or Trap or anything. So yeah, play 3 of this. It's not once per turn. To activate it, you do need 2 or more Crystal Beast cards in your Spell and Trap zone. Your opponent chooses 1 to send to the grave. That doesn't matter because for the fusion monster, you just need to banish from grave anyway. And you don't really want to clog up your Spell and Trap zones with all Crystal Beast monsters. They don't do anything exciting. So being able to draw 2 into a combo piece that you need, or, you know, more hand traps, or another non-hard once per turn counter trap, you know, very, very good card. Now, most of the time with the Sapphire Pegasus, you are going to place Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon into the Spell and Trap zone. And the reason you're going to do this is because you can banish this from the Spell and Trap zone as a continuous spell to search for Rainbow Dragon or any Ultimate Crystal Beast, to be honest. By doing that effect, it also special summons a Crystal Beast monster from the deck and negates its effects, so very, very good card. Gets you the Rainbow Dragon, which you do need for the Quick Play Searcher spell. This is also just a 3k beatstick Crystal Beast monster, so you can special summon this back as well to essentially guarantee the OTK. Also special summons itself from hand when an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster. So it's a pretty good card, but you don't want to run 3 because it doesn't do anything by itself. Of course, you need to play 1 of all of the do nothing cards. These are all just essentially bricks. You need 7 with different names, at least, to get out the fusion monsters. Ruby Carbuncle is the only best one. When this is special summoned, you can special summon all of your Spell and Trap Crystal Beast monsters, so that can help OTK as well. Kind of comes up less often if you get your combos going, but you do have to play all of these, unfortunately, which means you're most likely going to break sometimes in this deck because you are playing 40 to maximize the consistency. Triple Crystal Miracle, non-once per turn counter trap, insane. Also has a graveyard effect to fill up your Spell and Trap zones, so really, really nice. And then we have double Crystal Conclave because this is also searchable, and this sends itself to grave and then bounces an opponent's card along with a Crystal Beast card you control. So you want to go first, set up your traps, hopefully stop your opponent enough and control the game with your traps and interruptions, and then OTK them when the opportunity presents itself and your opponent's kind of low on resources. Alongside our trap cards here, we also obviously have the triple Ash Blossom. Nice to see that as a common, and a triple Ghost Ogre, which is just really, really nice this format. Better than Dimension Shifter in this deck, specifically because you want to set up Conclave. So that is what I believe to be the best 40 card deck list you could make with the 3 structure decks. You have to go first. If you're going second, you need to rely on this card and your hand traps, essentially. But yeah, very pretty cards. It's a shame they're not all shiny. I wonder if they're going to get like shiny reprints in the Battles of Legend Crystal Legends coming out. But getting into the side deck here, we have 1 Crystal Boon. This gains life points to put you ahead, which, you know, is kind of common in this format right now. We do see most decks having an option to gain or reduce life points. We have triple Cosmic Cyclone, obviously, triple D-Shifter. You want to play this going second, so that if you do set up your traps on your turn 2, then they're live for the turn 3. And then we have a triple Contact C, which isn't as good right now because a lot of people are playing generic links, like you can just go into Sprite Elf with this, for example, in any link 2, but this can just kill a lot of decks on the spot. So that is 10 cards in the side deck. There wasn't really anything else I wanted to play. You can maybe play like 2 more Crystal Boon, but it is searchable. The rest of the options aren't that great, so, you know, you can just pick some bulk up and put in Effect Veilers or something. But yeah, that is everything. Of course, you get a whole bunch of tokens, which is really cool. We are now going to attempt to show you how the deck sort of plays. Alright, combo time. Now, unfortunately, there's no, like, good 1-card combos. It's only 2 and above card combos, and essentially, you just want to see as many of these 5 cards as possible, plus rare value and stuff, but these are the main combo pieces to get you going. So let's just do the bare minimum here and do a 2-card combo. We'll just take Rainbow Bridge and Crystal Bond. They all just kind of search each other, so any combination of 2 essentially, maybe give or take a couple, should get you there. But with Crystal Bond and Rainbow Bridge, we're going to activate Crystal Bond, so we're going to search a copy of Sapphire Pegasus, and place a copy of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon into the spell and trap zone. Activating the effect of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon will banish it to special summon a Crystal Beast. It doesn't really matter which you summon here because the effect is negated. You just want to get 7 names in rotation as quickly as possible, and ideally you want to get the higher attack values in rotation first, so that when you do eventually summon everything back, you have enough damage to kill your opponent. So special summoning the Mammoth here, we're going to search for a copy of Rainbow Dragon. You have to have Rainbow Dragon in the deck to search for to activate this effect. So we're only ever going to be able to activate this thing once. From here, we're going to activate Rainbow Bridge, search any crystal spell or trap. We want to get to the continuous spell, so to do that, we're going to search for Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates and activate this, revealing the Rainbow Dragon to our opponent, to then search for a Rainbow Bridge card, a Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. We're then going to normal summon Sapphire Pegasus, place a Crystal Beast monster in the spell and trap zone. There goes the Tiger, the second highest attack of the Crystal Beast lineup. Then we're going to activate Rainbow Bridge of the Heart here. And the thing you need to know is that to summon this, you specifically have to banish Crystal Beast monsters. And the Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap zone do not count as monsters. So ideally, you want to cycle the spell and trap Crystal Beasts into the graveyard through your effects. So using Rainbow Bridge of the Heart to destroy a Crystal Beast card, we're going to destroy the Topaz Tiger here to search for the counter trap, and we can then set the Crystal Miracle, giving us essentially a counter trap and a bounce. So when our opponent activates an effect, we can activate Crystal Miracle, destroying a Crystal Beast card that we control. So we're going to destroy the Sapphire Pegasus here, which is then going to send it to the spell and trap zone. And because a Crystal Beast monster was placed in the spell and trap zone, that's going to trigger Rainbow Bridge of the Heart to target a card our opponent controls and bounce it to the hand. So 2 interruptions off of 2 cards. You also need to keep in mind that the special summon off of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, its effects are permanently negated. Therefore, when it's destroyed, it will not be placed in the spell and trap zone. So keep that in mind. Then from here, let's hope with the additional cards in our hand that we were able to stop our opponent from popping off and killing us. We're then going to bring it back over to our turn, and we can trigger the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, so popping Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Depending on the cards we had available to us in our hand, if we could set up the kill shot, we would search for a combo piece, or if not, we need to control the board still, we would search another trap here. So eventually, we have our 7 names on field and engraved. That's going to allow us to special summon Rainbow Dragon from our hand to the field, and now we can special summon the big boy by banishing the Rainbow Dragon plus 7 Crystal Beast monsters. So we banish pretty much everything there to special summon Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. This will have 11,000 attack while you have 7 different Crystal Beast monsters banished. However, let's say your opponent has a set monster and no other resources because we managed to grind them down with our traps. We're then going to activate the effect to tribute itself, and that's going to shuffle every card on the field into the deck, and then special summon back as many banished Crystal Beast monsters as possible. So we go for the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, and then all the high attack Crystal Beast monsters, and that is going to get us damage on boards. And that is how you win the game. It's just a case of hoping that you have enough interruptions in your hand to kill your opponent. There's not really anything else I can add to the combo because it essentially just boils down to the amount of searches you have in your hand, like additional hand traps and additional rainbow bridges to search for more traps. None of them are a hard once per turn. Another thing that's really cool is that these two go extremely well together. So let's say you have both of them set up here. You have the Conclave and the Miracle. You flip this face up. Your opponent activates something. You want to negate that. You're going to flip the Crystal Miracle, destroying the Sapphire Pegasus. That's going to trigger the Conclave. Because a Crystal Beast monster we controlled was destroyed by battle or card effect, we can special summon any Crystal Beast monster from the deck. So for example here, we could special summon another Sapphire Pegasus, which will also then trigger to place something in your spell and trap zone, which is then going to trigger the Crystal Miracle Engrave that you can banish to get another card in rotation. That's another Crystal Beast in the spell and trap zone. But you also don't want to clog like your whole spell and trap zone. So say we have like rare value here, that would be really nice on our next turn to draw 2. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one overall because it's not great, and it's not very linear or sort of like easy to play either. The main point is that it's at least playable on a fun level for Crystal Beast fans, so that's always nice. Either way, I hope this video kind of helped you understand the deck a bit more. If you'd make any changes, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.